Hello, and welcome to Craving Creativity Club. I'm Elena, and this week I want to tell you about one of my all-time favourite artists, Gustav Klimt. I love the way he uses fluid lines and gold paint, incorporating beautiful patterns and textures into his work, much of which is inspired by nature as well as the human psyche. This is the fifth session of the Changing Seasons block of Craving Creativity Club. If you've missed any sessions, you can find the rest of them on the playlist on my channel. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. I'll tell you more about the club at the end of this video, but for now, I just want to say that I want Craving Creativity Club to be moulded by you and what you want to learn. So if you have any ideas, requests, or questions, please let me know by commenting on this video. Now, let's explore the life and work of Gustav Klimt.
Gustav Klimt was born in Vienna in 1862, the eldest of 7 children of Ernst Klimt, a goldsmith and engraver. Bringing up this large family was financially challenging, and the Klimts were often living in poverty, struggling to make ends meet on Ernst's income. Of the Klimt children, many were particularly talented in art, and in 1876 Gustav enrolled in the Kunstgewerbeschule, or School of Applied Arts in Vienna, followed by his brother Ernst a year later. Here they met Franz Matsch, and the three quickly became friends. Under the tutelage of Ferdinand Laufberger, they learned not only the techniques of drawing and painting, but also about fresco and mosaic making. The Klimt boys also made extra money for their family by drawing portraits from photographs, becoming excellent at reproducing the human form. The trio named themselves the Künstlerkompanie, the company of artists, and so impressed their tutor that they were often recommended for commissions even before leaving school. In 1883, the three artists set up a studio together in Vienna, from which they continued to accept commissions. Their main work was decorative projects for the wealthy owners of local villas, and they were soon recognized as an upcoming talent. In 1886, they were asked to decorate the ceiling and side staircases of Vienna's new Burg Theatre. Klimt's own contributions to the project earned him high acclaim, including the Gold Cross for Merit from the Emperor of Austria and honorary membership to Vienna University. Their success at the Burg Theatre led to the friends being invited to complete similar decoration of the staircases of the Kunsthistorisches Museum. This work had been begun by Hans Makart, who was an artist greatly admired by Klimt before his sudden death in 1884. Makart was primarily a history painter, and Klimt worked hard to research and create imagery that was similarly steeped in academia. His work at the museum shows strong inspiration from ancient Egyptian and Greek art through his use of flattened perspective. Byzantine mosaics were also a heavy influence with their patterned texture and stylized motifs. Both Klimt's father and his brother Ernst died in 1892, leaving Klimt to support both his mother and younger sisters and Ernst's widow and baby daughter. He produced little work over the next 2 years, probably due to grief. However, in 1894, he and Matsch were offered the opportunity to produce paintings for the ceiling of the Great Hall of Vienna University. This coincided with a change in the way Klimt was working, as he was discovering a more radical style and sensuous themes. The resulting paintings were met with shock and dislike from all. In frustration, he abandoned the project, and the canvases were never displayed at the university. The censure Klimt received for the university paintings did not seem to affect his career adversely. He was enjoying designing costumes for the dressmaker Emilie Flöger, the sister of his brother Ernst's widow, who became a lifelong close friend and companion. Through painting her portrait, he was able to explore and experiment with his new ideas more thoroughly. This led to him becoming much in demand for privately commissioned portraits of wealthy Viennese ladies, refining his decorative and textural approach to pattern. His ability to accurately reproduce a face did not diminish, but the patterns and surface qualities of clothing seemed to take on a life of their own. Klimt's background in decorative arts is clear as he expressed his growing interest in the human psyche and the power of femininity through fluid lines and symbolic shapes of eyes, spirals, and ova. In the late 1890s, Klimt was spending a good portion of his time in coffee houses discussing the Impressionist and Symbolist painters of Europe and becoming more frustrated with conservative attitudes towards art. He and his friends set up a new artists group that became known as the Secession, the members of which immediately voted Klimt their president. The group aimed to promote artistic freedom and support new artists whose modern methods might be otherwise overlooked. They did this through organising exhibitions and through the publication of a magazine. As part of this aim, Klimt enjoyed mentoring young artists, including Egon Schiele and Oskar Kokoschka, towards whom he was particularly encouraging. The group held many successful exhibitions, but a gradual separation occurred between artists that wanted to focus on pure painting and artists like Klimt that recognised the value of applied arts such as architecture and decorative arts and design. Eventually, the Secession disintegrated in 1905. One of Klimt's greatest successes came about in 1909 when he was invited to take part in a collaboration between various artists and craftspeople led by the architect Joseph Hoffmann. Hoffmann's brief was to design and build a palace for the financier Adolf Stockley, with no expense spared. This included not only the building, but also the interior decor, production of fabrics and furniture, and all sorts of sundries such as glassware. Stockley wanted a space in which every item was designed to be part of a unique and harmonised whole. Klimt's part in this was the painting of a frieze in the dining room depicting the tree of life together with allegories of expectation and fulfilment. This was perhaps the height of his gold period, in which his extensive use of gold leaf encrusted canvases turned his art into treasure to be hoarded. This coincided with an exploration into cycles of life from birth to death. As he entered his 50s, Klimt was much less interested in socialising, avoiding the coffee houses he had once frequented and spending long hours working in his studio. He did enjoy holidays in Attersee with the Flöger family, where he became inspired to create beautifully textural landscapes. Here, flowers become patterns of gems glowing against an almost impressionistic backdrop of repetitive daubs of green. As he had with his portraits, Klimt reduced the depth of his paintings substantially, so that the subject, the house, trees, or land, became more pattern than substance. I particularly love his birch forest paintings, in which the sweeping vertical lines of trees elegantly cleave through the warm golds of leaves. In early 1918, just entering his studio, Klimt suffered a stroke and was hospitalised. Whilst the studio was unused, thieves broke in and stole many of his more finished pieces. Sadly, he went on to then contract Spanish flu and then pneumonia and died.
I hope you enjoyed that glimpse into the life and work of an amazing artist. If you want to know more, you might want to join the Craving Creativity Club membership on my website, which is www.elenastorra.uk, and then just scroll down a little bit and click on the Craving Creativity Club logo. For the rest of 2025, membership is free and will remain so for founding members. After that, it will be just £5 a month. For that, you'll get additional blog posts, PDFs, occasional live Zoom sessions, and discounted mentorship sessions if you want them. Not only that, you'll be invited to join our Facebook community, and you'll get an email every week during project blocks letting you know all the resources available for that week. That's all for now. Please like, comment, and subscribe to let the algorithms know you want to see more of me. And I'll see you again next time.